Alright, my video camera looks like it has about a 16-minute limit on videos. The one that can fit in the stand to see this, so I've got to get that figured out. Somehow got to get a way to get my phone to make these videos instead of the video camera. But anyway, we left off on number 89, and I had described to you in that one how this graph of the derivative, it's below the x-axis. That means the graph of p must be decreasing, and then when it goes above the x-axis it's increasing. So the only possible answer for that, the only one where the line is decreasing, the slope is negative and then the slope is positive. Remember, below the x-axis negative slope, above the x-axis means a positive slope if you're looking at the graph of a derivative, which this is the graph of p prime, the derivative. So that's going to be d. Right, so if we want to write something down there, it's decreasing from a to 0 because p prime is less than 0, and then increasing from 0 to b because p prime is greater than 0. So you do have to memorize that list of rules on how to interpret the graph of a derivative. You are going to definitely get problems like that, so you need to memorize that list. Alright, one more from this section, so this calculator section. And that is number 90. So number 90 says, the equation of the tangent line to the graph y equals sine x. So we've got y equals sine x is the original equation. We know that dy dx is equal to 1/2. That means that's the slope. Okay, the derivative is just the slope. The slope is 1/2. So you know you're going to have a slope of 1/2 in the answer, and all four answers have that. Okay, so that's not too helpful for you. So we need to get, first of all, let's get the derivative. Dy dx is equal to cosine x. Okay, so cosine x is equal to 1/2 at root 3 over 2. So this is your y value. Okay, so if we have the form y minus y1 is equal to the slope times x minus x1. Alright, we also know that what is the x value? What is, where is, because we need to get x1. x1 is where cosine of x is equal to 1/2, so x is going to be pi over 3. Okay, so sine, I think I explained this wrong just a minute ago, so let's take a step back. Sine is pi over 3, root 3 over 2. So that's how I got my y value. Okay? We know that cosine of pi over 3 is 1/2, so that gave us the slope of 1/2. Then to get the y value, we have to go back to the original equation. Sine of pi over 3 is root 3 over 2. So we'd have y minus y1 root 3 over 2 is equal to the slope 1/2 times x minus pi over 3. And that matches, you would have to move the negative root 3 over 2 to the right, but that matches selection B. So again, sorry about my botched explanation in the beginning. So we know that cosine is equal to 1/2 at pi over 3. That's our x value. and then plug that back in, that pi over 3, into the original equation to get your y value. Sine of pi over 3 is root 3 over 2. So you do have to remember that first quadrant of the unit circle to get this problem right, although you might have been able to look at the answers and just kind of guess it there. So that is that completes the calculated portion of the multiple choice for practice exam number 2.